Good morning, good morning, family, and welcome back to the channel, This Perfectly Imperfect Life. It's your girl, Tony, and I'm excited to come to you this morning. This is Sunday, um, I guess the beginning of a new week, but the end of the first week of quarantine or self-quarantine. We haven't really been asked to completely quarantined, but all of the schools are closed down and I'm an educator, so I've been working from home. But I did want to bring to you how my family is working through this situation. Some tips and tricks, some strategies that we put into place. I'm working from home still, um, helping my teachers. I'm a special education um, chair. And so I'm still helping my teachers navigate through this new learning situation for themselves and those kind of things, as well as a mom of two school-age students. One is a senior and the other one is a third grader. So, and then still having to be a mom. And so these things don't change just because we're at home. So if you're interested in seeing how we are managing and getting through this COVID-19 stay-in, it's not a vacation. I don't know why people are saying it's vacation, because we're still working. We're still educating the children. We are doing it virtually, but we're still educating these children. And so even though they're at home, they're able to contact us. They're able to log in. If you want to see how we are managing all of that, just stay tuned. Was that I had to create schedules. So the first schedule I created was a meal plan schedule that has breakfast, lunch, and dinners for the whole month. So when I first created the schedule, they had told us that we were going to be out of school for 2 weeks. And then by the time I went to the store, they had said a month. But I normally meal plan for a month of dinners anyway. So the thing that is different is that I added lunch and I added breakfast to this meal plan. So I knew that it was going to be very important that I meal planned. I hadn't meal planned the previous month because life got in the way. But I knew that it was going to be imperative that I had a certain amount of food in the house, that we had a certain amount of supplies, and I did not want to hoard food. That was not what I wanted to do. So for meal planning, it allowed me to be able to get in the food that I was going to need to cover for at least a month. Because again, at the time, I thought it was going to be 2 weeks. Um, but I would have exactly what we needed to make the meals that was on our plan for at least that 1 month. So I went ahead and I meal planned, and I was glad I did. Even though the shelves had already kind of been picked over, it was still pretty early. It was like the day after they announced um, that they were closing the schools for 2 weeks. So I had my meal plan, but I waited a couple of days before I actually went into the stores in the hopes that things would die down. It did not. So let me show you how that looks in my pantry and my refrigerator. Okay, so the first thing is I wanted to make sure that we had a lot of fruits. The pears I got for my husband because he asked for them and is not eating them. The bananas, um, my daughter eats them, but once they start getting the brown on them, she doesn't mess with them. And she loves the cuties, so I made sure she was stocked up on those. The next thing that we purchased were 5 cases of waters. So we've already been through 2 cases in the past week. So now I know that we kind of drink 2 cases of water in a week. And so I'm going to um, possibly go and get 2 more cases just to make sure that we have enough water. We don't drink Kool-Aid and soda and drinks like that. We drink water. So 2 cases of water, 4 of us in 1 week. I don't think that's bad. So here's the refrigerator, and this is kind of stressing me out. So I clean it at the end of every week on Sunday because the garbage truck comes on Monday morning. So today this will be cleaned out and straightened up. But my refrigerator is freezing all of my fresh foods, so that's stressing me. Over here is the freezer. This is the this week kind of meat or everyday kind of things that the kids can get their hands on. So this is the pantry. This is my kitchen pantry. And if you watched, I did do a pantry organization video about a month ago, and the systems were not working. The only system that's really working is this one up here. I had this, my seasonings were here, but I was able to get my seasoning rack back up on the door, so I'm loving this. Here is where we keep the foil and the bags, and we keep them in these magazine containers. I had way too many sauces to keep in these baskets, so I just put them on the shelf. I changed this one into a bread basket and this one into a snack basket, and so that is working. And then I have syrups in these Dollar Tree baskets, but that's going to change as well. Down here is normally where we keep the potatoes and the onions, and then on this side are the children's snacks. And these Captain Crunch, I think, is actually empty, so that needs to go into the garbage. And this is the ice cream cone that my daughter was eating. So this is the kitchen pantry. Okay, so I quickly realized that the kitchen pantry alone was not going to be enough. And so I had cabinets that were out in my man cave garage area. And so this is where the overflow. I hate cans in the kitchen pantry because I don't use a lot of cans, but I knew that I was going to need them for the next month. It was part of the meal plans. If you see, I have like the raviolis and the chilies. And so it was part of my meal plan. So I took one of the cabinets and I made it into a pantry. And so you'll see I have my canned goods on this one. I have my boxed foods on this one. The snacks are not supposed to be up here, but you know, when you have kids. Um, so the boxed goods, pastas, and those kind of things are up on this top. Down here is where I'm keeping like sauces and condiments are on this third shelf. And then on the bottom are all of the snacks for the next month. And we don't eat a lot of snacks. Let me say the kids and I don't eat a lot of snacks. My husband eats the most snacks. So, but this is our overflow storage pantry. Then I have another freezer. So this is also my man cave freezer where we're keeping like the large case of french fries because we eat that a lot, vegetables, frozen, pizzas, and this is going to change today. I just did not have time to organize because normally I keep all of my vegetables in the door, but the top part of my freezer is not freezing, so I'm going to have to change up the systems. When you have stuff that is not working, you change it up to make it work for you. And then over here is a little refrigerator because I mentioned earlier that my refrigerator is freezing and my freezer is not. So I'm keeping some of the fresh foods in this refrigerator. Okay, so my first tip in this process is do not hoard, but prepare. So I didn't hoard. I made a plan of what we needed in the house, and those were the items that I got. I'm not hoarding anything extra. I just have what we need for the month. If we're past, if we go past that month, then I will worry about that when that month comes. But don't hoard, but prepare. Okay, so the second thing that I found out fairly quickly was that I had to make sure that my daughter was still on a schedule. So there was so much work coming in. So the teachers were all sending assignments for every subject, just like a full day of school, that I had to make sure that I had a schedule that was planned out for my daughter. So let me share that with you. Okay, so the next thing I knew that was going to be very important is that I had to create a schedule for my daughter. And this is what the schedule I created looks like. A friend of mine that is also a student at my daughter's school, she shared this with me. We got the template from Canva, which I also use for my YouTube channel anyway. And so we created a schedule, and if you look, it goes 8:30 to 9:30, get up, have breakfast, get dressed. So during that time, we're not staying in our pajamas, we're not doing any of those kind of things. We are actually getting up. We're getting ourselves prepared just like any other day. Even though we're staying in the house, we're getting up, we're getting dressed, and we're getting ourselves ready. From 9:30 to 10:30, she works on math, and at her school they use iReady. They use MobyMax for math. And then from 10:30 to 11, she has science, and that again is on iReady and MobyMax. And this just keeps her focused on what she needs to be doing during the times of the day. And then from 11 to 11:30, she has a break. And then from 11, okay, so then after that, from 11:30 until 12:30, she works on ELA and reading. She uses Nearpod or Flipgrid. Flipgrid, they're doing their writing assignments through Flipgrid, where they have to record themselves with their responses, and they're able to communicate or look at other students' responses as well. From 12:30 to 1:30, she has lunch and free time. So that's another period where she can just relax. 1:30 to 2 p.m. social studies, and that's a program that they use. And then from 2 to 3, any magnet that she has, or specials as it's called in other schools, she does at the end of the day. And this has been working well for us. I know Thursday and Friday she's been finishing up pretty quickly, just because she's had a focus and she's been able to go through. So that was one of the other things that we went ahead and implemented as we stayed at home. Okay, so tip number 2 is create a schedule for your student for the day. It doesn't have to be as structured as this. Okay, so the next portion of our setup is just as important as the schedule. So tip number 3, give them their personal space. A space where they can set up, a space where they can keep all of their things out. So this is my daughter's space. And let me move back so you can see. So this is my office area, and my space is over here, but her space is this area right here. And I set it up that way she knows where she's going to go. It has her schedule on the wall. She knows where she's going to go. It has the computer that she's using. She uses the laptop as well as an iPad. She has her notebook. She has her paper. She knows exactly where she's going to be so that she can focus. And so this is her space. She was able to decorate her chair. So I gave her a little chair. And she put the pillow and she put the blanket to make it cushiony. And so this is her own space so that she has a place where she can work and a place where she can focus. So tip number 3 is to give them a specific space for them to work in during this time. A specific space. Okay, everybody, and the fourth and final tip that I have for you all today is cut yourself some slack. It's going to be okay. It's going to get back to normal, even if it's a new normal. But don't be beating yourself up that things are not working out exactly as planned. It's okay. We are all here. We're all navigating this new normal. We're all navigating this new way of life right now. And so cut yourself some slack. Everything may not be perfect, but every day is going to be great. So thank you all for watching. As always, make each and every day amazing. I love you guys. Be safe. Be careful. Love on your family during this time. Talk to you next time.
No, she thought you was behind her. Oh, you coming back?
That girl got in the baby swing.
Okay.
Oh, Jaden.
Why I gotta go?
But I need my phone for my YouTube channel. Hold up.
So here we are at the park. I created a schedule for them for the day, so I promised her that if she finished her schoolwork, then I would bring her over to the park. Well, the writing portion, that I would bring her over to the park, because that's the portion that she really doesn't like. And so she went ahead and she did her reading and her writing, and she did the math. And so we are at the park. And my son has the wipes, because he wipes down everything now. So he has the Lysol wipes so that he can wipe down the things in the park. But a promise is a promise. It's kind of cold out there, so I'm sitting in the car while the two of them go over to the park area. And she can play. I'll let her get her time to play. I told her she can get 30 to 45 minutes. And so she loves spending time with her older brother. So there they are in the park. He made this frisbee kind of thing, so he's flinging it. And then when she comes back from playing in the park, I'll have my hand sanitizer all ready for her to clean her hands with. What you think about lunch?
It looks not normal.
What you mean it looks?
I mean, like, it looks normal, but like, it looks.
It look a little fancy?
Yes, very fancy. A bowl on plate with fruit on the side, and my pet dog.
You think you're gonna enjoy it though?
Yeah.
Cool.
I
All
like
right.
this bread.
Huh?
I like this bread.
You like that bread? Good. I'll buy some more. All right.